This is Mr. Kaufman here with High Five History, giving a brief introduction to the Byzantine Empire and its capital city, Constantinople. So the Byzantine Empire is famous for its art and architecture, for Justinian I, one of its most famous and important leaders, emperors, as well as the rise of the Eastern Orthodox Church. So if we take a look here, this is a drawing of what the city of Constantinople might have looked like during its height. As you can see, right, there's so many great details that stand out. Right here in the middle at the Hagia Sophia, we have a Colosseum where chariot races would have played, a very long aqueduct, the Golden Gate, right, up in the northwest corner. Now, Constantinople had many great features that made it such an important and powerful city. Things like its natural barrier of water, as well as the massive walls that surrounded the city, which would have kept it safe from invaders. Because of its location, people were able to reach it easily. And you could see from the vast buildings and the impressive architecture that it was a wealthy city. So the Byzantine Empire, here's a map. In the orange along this side was Byzantine Empire at around 500 pre-Justinian. And you can see Justinian then in the orange was able to extend the empire to modern-day Spain, northern Africa, as well as Italy. And you might be thinking to yourself, man, that looks just like what Rome used to be like. Well, that's because it was. When Rome was split into two, into the west and the east, right, we know that the western half fell, but the eastern half lived on and is later named the Byzantine Empire. Now this part, which used to be Western Rome, was briefly reconquered by Justinian. Now the empire is very impressive. It lasted around 1,000 years, from 500 to about 1453. And its location was at the crossroads, meaning just in between Asia and Europe, and making that a very important place for trade. Constantinople was its capital city. It's located right there. Right, you can see it had access to the Black Sea, as well as down here to the Mediterranean Sea, and at the crossroads of Europe and Asia. Now, Constantinople was named after its founder, well, not its founder, but after Constantine, who founded it as the capital of Rome, when the capital was moved from Rome, the actual city, to what then was called Constantinople, and then later served as the capital city of the Byzantine Empire. So what made it such a great location? Right? Two things you want to think about. One is trade. It was at the center of water and land trade routes, making it a very wealthy empire. Right? It was the crossroads, right? It controlled the trade between Europe and Asia, as well as its defense. It was easily defended by invaders by both the sea, right, its natural barriers, as well as the city walls that were put up. Now, one of the Byzantine Empire's and Justinian's most famous contributions would be the Hagia Sophia, which was at the time a large cathedral church. Later you can see the minarets put up because it was converted to a mosque, and now it serves as a museum for all faiths. Now the Hagia Sophia is super impressive. It was built during the reign of Justinian, and just one of 25 cathedrals that he built. He was a busy builder. Now, what's the most amazing part to me, built in only 5 years. I'm using around 10,000 workers. If you look at the major cathedrals of Western Europe, you're talking about 100, 200, even up to 300 years to complete. And Hagia Sophia, under Justinian's rule, was able to be made in just 5 years. Super impressive. Now, again, like I said before, when Constantinople fell to the Turks, which was a Muslim nation, it later was converted to a mosque, hence in that picture before you see the minarets. And today, again, it's a museum that you can go visit yourself. Here's what it looks like in the center, right? Amazingly high ceilings, detailed architecture. Look at that, a beautiful art, right? Everywhere you look. Another great view of the light coming in through the windows up on that gigantic dome up top. look at, right, the detail, the art that went into the architecture. And here's a view, right, of what it looked like from the outside. Again, the attention to detail is super impressive. Again, considering it took just 5 years to build. Now here is some example of a mosaic, a popular art form, and this is of Jesus. Right. And another example of a mosaic. Another example of some of the art that was up on the walls, right? Super impressive. And look at that detail, right? Amazing work right there. All right, so that's it, right? That's this High Five History brief overview of the Byzantine Empire as well as Constantinople, and then a nice look at the Hagia Sophia, an amazing, what originally built in as a cathedral by Justinian I. That's it. Mike Kaufman signing out from High Five History.